Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest's #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock, and I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where we are busier than Santa's elves on Cappuccino right now. It is intense over there. The number to join us on the program today, live and local, 888-250-2091. I want to thank everybody. The lovely Kimberly and I were on a wonderful, well-earned vacation, if I might say so myself, to Disney World for the last couple shows. So they were pre-recorded shows, but I wanted to make sure you guys had some good content. That's why they weren't available on Facebook as a live broadcast, because they were not live. And you know, we could have faked it. We talked about it, because you can record the video and then we can actually stream a video file to Facebook as if it is live. You would have never known the difference on your end. Facebook might have, and Facebook has some pretty stringent penalties if you get caught doing something like that, because they want their live stuff to be truly live. So we decided it'd be best not to try to trick Facebook. Let's just not look a gift horse in the mouth. Let's take the nice free tool that we get for streaming from Facebook and use it as it's intended to be used. Unfortunately, that meant no streaming video. I tried to keep up. I was on vacation and people were posting like, "Where's the video? I can't get the video." And I'm posting back. I'm like, "It's pre-recorded today," but we still have to drop the phone numbers, because the show that's pre-recorded last week is the show that's airing right now this week in other markets. So we still have to drop the phone numbers, even though there's no one here that week to take the call. So I apologize. But there are people here to take your calls today at 888-250-2091. So the last couple programs, the lovely Kimberly was joining us in studio to talk to us about memory boxes. If you've never had to, or if you've never thought about doing this, digitizing all of your memories and saving them to something that is, you know, more permanent, like a digital format, whether those be video or pictures, things like that. The first show, she went through all the different services that she would recommend, and why that she recommends a different service for photos than she does for videos, and all the stupid things you never think of. Like when you send in a bunch of videos, you don't get a bunch of separate video files back. You get one video file with all the videos butted end to end. So you still have to do a little editing if you want to clip them apart. So little things like that. The second show was also dealing with things you can do with these digitized memories once you have them. Things like making memory books, bound photo album kind of things that you can send off into different services that do that. So if that stuff is a creative thing that you're interested in, I would encourage you to go back to the archives at SchrockInnovations.com. You can listen to the show audio from the previous two shows. Just click on the Compute This link at the top of the page for the radio show, and you can check out all that previous audio. The number to join us on the program today, 888-250-2091. Today on the program, we've got all kinds of fun stuff. There's a brand new city that's been completely taken out by ransomware. They told their city employees to just turn off their computers because, yeah, just turn off your computers, all of you, everybody, turn them off. So that's fun. You know, what does the police do when they don't have computers to like take mugshots or, you know, process people, or what does a court system do when you can't print exhibits? You know, what happens to a city when it's completely paralyzed by ransomware? More importantly, why is it happening? How is it happening? A couple weeks ago, we talked about a new virus that was coming out. It was a data wiping virus. This one is scary. It specifically seeks out information and backups on your network, and rather than encrypting it for ransom, it just deletes it. Just gone. And now Microsoft has found out who is behind that virus, so we're going to tell you about that coming up on the program here as well today. Also on the show right now, you may have figured this out on your own, but we are in the final days of the holiday special. Now, it is too late to get one ordered and built, even with an expedite, before Christmas time, because we are starting to see increased shipping times. So in other words, stuff that I'm ordering right now is guaranteed delivery by December 24th. Which doesn't give us a whole lot of time to get it built and tested. If we have a bad part, we're just kind of up a creek without a paddle, and we don't want to ruin anyone's Christmas. So of course we have other things that we can do for you. We can, you know, print you off a nice receipt that you can put in an envelope. Very impressive. That you're going to get a new computer here just a few days after Christmas. This is also the final week for the special on all of our computers in the service center. We spend a lot of time on the show talking about the holiday special laptop, and the holiday special desktop this time of year. One of the things that we decided to do that was a little bit different this time around, we never put our regular computers on sale ever. Yeah, we just don't. I mean, when we think about it, when we have a computer special, it's always a special computer. So we have the ultimate upgrade sale that we do in the spring. That's a special computer that's not normally offered by Schrock. Or when we do the holiday special, that's a special computer that's not available throughout the rest of the year. We never just put our regular computers on special. So we decided to do that during the holiday season this year and kind of see how you guys respond. And the response has literally, it's almost been overwhelming, the number of computers that have been purchased in the last, I don't know, the last month and a half since the sale started last month. So basically that's going to go on through December 23rd. December 23rd, I believe, is a Monday. Let me double check that real quick. Yep, December 23rd is a Monday. It is a week and a day from today, from the original air date of this broadcast. So December 23rd is the final day that you can order a computer at Schrock Innovations and get the discounts up to $150 off a brand new modular computer or solid state laptop. You can also order from our website. So if you get in that Christmas rush, you can just do it online and be done with it. It all goes to the same people, guys. We get it in the service center. Yesterday, the Omaha Service Center sold a Gallant laptop through the website. Brian processed it in the Omaha Service Center as if you walked in the door in Omaha and bought it. It got added to the system. It's ready to go in the queue. We're going to be building it and getting it done, just not before Christmas at this point. The logistics are just too much there. If you do have a computer that you ordered previously while computers were still being guaranteed before Christmas, we are on track for delivering those before Christmas. We did ask you when you ordered a computer from us if it was a Christmas gift, because we wanted to make sure those Christmas gifts got prioritized over other builds, just to make sure we didn't ruin someone's Christmas. We don't want to do that. So all of the Christmas gift computers have either been completed or are en route to the service center right now in parts, as well as right now, normally we have anywhere from 5 to 8 computers coming into the service center for a build at a given point in time. Right now, the number of parts we have incoming are 32 computers worth. And because some of these are holiday specials, they have a lot more parts than a regular small computer. So, literally, it's like beep, beep, beep. We actually had a delivery guy ask us where our pallet door was. You know what a pallet door is? That's when they take all your boxes and they put it on a wooden pallet and they wrap it in plastic because there's so much to deliver that they would just prefer to take it off the back of the truck with a forklift and drop it on your loading dock. The Papillion Service Center doesn't exactly have a loading dock, so he asked us where our freight door was, and we said, you just walk through it. And so literally they're dropping the pallet outside of the front of our shop, and then the guys have to go out and cut the plastic off and carry the boxes into the shop, and then we have to get rid of the pallet. So it's been pretty crazy. I took a couple pictures and posted them to Facebook just to kind of show you guys. That was all the computers that were in that photo that I took, I think it was last Thursday. Those computers have all not been completed. They're done now. And the floor has been replaced with the next set of boxes that came in. We tagged them all with papers. Then we go through and we put all the parts on them, and then we go through and build them. So it's a fun thing with, we have guys that love what they do, and it makes it fun. But we are very, very busy right now. So we are doing our best to get everything taken care of and get everything built for you. The other thing that happens this time of year, we see a drop off on the number of things coming in on the bench because everybody is focused on new equipment. So why would you focus on repairing or replacing or maintaining your old equipment when you're planning on buying a new computer anyway? It doesn't make sense, right? If you are one of the people who is not buying a new computer this holiday season, now is an excellent time to bring your computer in for preventative maintenance. If your drive advisor has gone off saying your hard drive is not working properly, now is an excellent time to bring that in. I don't know what's in the water in the last week, but drive advisor has been going off like a Christmas tree about hard drives being bad all over the place. So if you got a drive advisor email, if you haven't had time to do it, just go ahead and pop open your drive advisor program. It's the square with the D down there by your clock, and just make sure all your hard drives are okay. Because we get alerts when your C drive fails if you're a Schrock customer, but if you just installed it on your own from hearing it on the radio show, we don't get an alert when your hard drive is bad because you haven't had that computer on our bench. And so as a result, you get the alert, and if it goes off into your spam mail or something like that, then you don't see it. In other news over at Schrock, we have a brand new version of Drive Advisor that was released last week that went through and fixed the issue. We had a previous issue that wasn't showing hard drives correctly. Then we got to the point where it was showing the hard drive health percentages correctly, but sometimes you got crazy temperatures. Like, your hard drive is the same temperature as the surface of the sun. And I don't mean the Al Gore, like, surface of the sun. I don't know if you remember when he quoted the surface of the sun. The center of the earth is hotter than the surface of the sun, Not that, it's hotter than that, right? It was like some crazy amount, and that was because, for whatever reason, some of the new solid states are reporting their temperatures in degrees Kelvin instead of degrees Celsius. And so it messed up the math because we're converting it, and it's like, oh, well, that's why your hard drive says it's hotter than the surface of the sun. It's not really. It's just that there's a math conversion. We got that bug fixed. Thanks for just throwing out that guy, hard drive makers, and not putting any notes in the manufacturing process. Who measures a hard drive in degrees Kelvin? That's literally what you measure the temperature of a star. Why would you measure your hard drive in degrees Kelvin? That just doesn't make sense. But anyway, we got that taken care of. And then we had one final lagging bug where Drive Advisor was not always detecting secondary hard drives, like backup drives. So when we rolled out the new version of Drive Advisor last week, you all got upgraded automatically to that. If you restarted your computer, Drive Advisor just downloaded it, installed it, got it all taken care of for you. You have the latest version. The nice thing about the new version is everything works. Everything works perfectly. Everything is great. Sorry for the issues we had over the past 3 weeks with that. If you're still having an issue with Drive Advisor, you can always give me a call here on the program, 888-250-2091, or give us a call in the service center, and we'll troubleshoot that individually with you there as well. Alrighty, so let's see, what do we got here? Let's jump on. We are broadcasting live this morning, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. So let's take a look at some of the comments there. Mary, good morning. Good to see you with us today. Brian, good to see you. Keith, you're intense. I thought you had a building. I'm intense. Sometimes, Keith, I don't understand some of the stuff that you post. Good morning from snowy Kansas. Yeah, it was snowing a little bit when I came in this morning here in Nebraska too. A little light, pretty snow. All right. Good morning from snowy Michigan. Wow, everywhere is snowy. But yeah. So let me think. Is there any other? I've been gone for 2 weeks, so I kind of feel like I have a lot of stuff to. When I came back from vacation, it was like playing catch up, and now I kind of feel like I have to catch you guys up too. But no, I mean, everything went really well while I was gone. The guys did a good job of maintaining the service centers and making sure. I got maybe like 4 text messages the entire 12 days we were gone. It was an impressive feat. All right, so the number to join us on the program this morning, 888-250-2091. Once again, to recap, we're down to single digits on the holiday specials, especially the holiday special laptops, guys. The holiday special laptops, we have already sold through the number that we thought we were going to sell through for the sale. We sell 150 total units, but that's divided between laptops and desktops. So we have to kind of take a guess at where we think the laptops are going to end up. And we have sold the number of laptops that we thought we were going to sell. Dell has agreed. They always produce a little bit extra because of, if there's a problem or a bad unit or something like that. So now we are actually selling through that margin with them right now. They have agreed to sell us the remaining computers that they have built for us at the price that we were paying before, which was great because otherwise these things are like $3,000 laptops. So we are still filling the orders for holiday special laptops. We have enough to fill all of the outstanding orders right now. But the moment that we hit the end of that road, we cannot sell laptops anymore. Right now we have a total of 8 units available, 8 holiday special units available between laptop and desktop. So we'd obviously hope most of them would be desktops because laptops are getting harder to get, and we don't want to end up having to put down $3,000 on the table to get one for somebody, and it's like, wow, that's not a good way to stay in business. You sell it for $1,500 and then you buy it for $3,000. That doesn't work too well for too long. So we really need those prices to stay at that $14.99 price that we're getting from Dell, so we can continue to sell them to you at cost. So if you were thinking about a holiday special laptop, we are down to if you place an order today, you probably will get it. If you place the order on Tuesday, I can't promise anything. So it's one of those things, again, where if you're thinking about a holiday special, make sure you jump in and get that done. We can't deliver them before Christmas. Also, all the remaining computers at Schrock Innovations are on special, like all of our desktop models, our modular desktops, whether it's the Boundless, the Endeavor, or the Venture. Also on the laptop side, the solid state laptops, they're all 2020 model line, by the way, too. They're not the 2019 model line, which was kind of funny because we had a gentleman in Lincoln who purchased a 2020 model line Endeavor. And so we built it in Papillion and sent it down. And, he had an issue with the data transfer. He had a lot of business software, and we tried to do some crazy stuff to get the business software to just be installed without having to reinstall all of it, which we would normally make everybody do, but he didn't have some codes and things, and it was going to be really complicated. So we did our best to make it work with the way it shouldn't work, and the solution was it didn't work. So it came back in under warranty. And then there was another unrelated issue where Symantec was doing maintenance on endpoint, and he brought it back in because his endpoint wasn't working. He was really upset because he paid for an expedite, and the computer got there, and he's had it in twice. And so the guys were like, listen, let's just replace it for you. Then I was out of town, so they look around and they're like, okay, we have our display model. We can take the parts from the interior of that, move them into his case, and go from there. Except the display model in the service center is the 2019 Endeavor, not the 2020 Endeavor. So they literally had to give him the guts from a Venture, because the Venture was basically the same as the 2020 Endeavor, if that makes sense. So I guess what I'm saying here, guys, is the computers that you're getting right now at Schrock are not only on sale, but some of the hardware in some cases is double what you were getting last year. For a lower price. So make sure you take a look at that over at SchrockInnovations.com. You can shop online, click on Shop and Specials, or you can just pop into the service center. We're open on Saturday from 10 to 8 and Sunday from noon to 5. One last thing before we jump into break, guys. Somebody pointed out to me that the Lincoln Service Center is still getting calls from confused customers who do not know that we moved. We moved. We moved from our location at 27th and Pine Lake Road. This move was months ago, but we moved to a new location, which is 2 blocks south of Pine Lake Road on 14th. So if you're hearing the show in Lincoln and you haven't been in a while, well, it's time to come in and get some maintenance work done, because if you haven't been in since we moved, that means you're due for a maintenance checkup. So you need to come on into the service center. We're 2 blocks south of Pine Lake Road on 14th Street. It's 7501 South 15th is the actual address. But do make sure you pop in and say hi over there at the service center. And if your friends are talking about Schrock and they're like, hey, I don't know where that place went, they go out of business, make sure you tell them that we moved to the new location. People usually call and ask us, but I'm kind of worried that if people are calling and asking, how many people aren't calling and asking? That's kind of a problem. So I wanted to make sure we pop that out there as well. All right, so we have a lot planned for the show today, guys. We got viruses, we got ransomware knocking cities offline, and not little cities either, big cities. Also, Schrock Interactive is quite busy in the fourth quarter here going in. We signed a couple new clients while I was out, so that was great. The Data Recovery Lab is popping, which is great for us, but not so great for them. Everything is going great over at Schrock, so we're going to tell you everything that's going on in the service center, plus all the stories you missed out on this week, coming up next on Compute This.
Today's fragile computers need maintenance more than ever. Your computer needs a maintenance checkup every 6 months to last beyond its 18-month expected lifespan. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them, or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours, or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals, and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs, and all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where we fix computers, obviously. We sell a whole boatload of new computers during the holiday season. We build websites, we recover data from crashed hard drives, we come on-site to your home or your business to help you out with your computer needs or do general IT consulting. The number to join us on the program today is 888-250-2091. It's been so long since I've talked to any of you, I want to jump into these phones real quick. So let's jump right in. Kathy, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Yeah, I got a little message that there was a Windows update on Saturday, and they were going to install it, ta-da-da-da. And I went ahead and I had it installed after I'd taken the time to close everything. When did Microsoft start putting out Windows updates on the weekend?
Gotcha. Well, the thing is, Microsoft puts out all of their updates unless there's like some kind of super duper emergency. They put out all of their updates on what they call Patch Tuesday, which is the second Tuesday of the month. So the second Tuesday of the month was the 10th of December. So that's when the updates are released. That's so your computer can start downloading the updates then. So if your computer is turned off, if the lid of your laptop is shut, if it's in sleep mode, it's obviously not able to download those updates. The other thing is your computer never uses your full internet connection to download the updates. It just uses a portion of it, just in case you're trying to, use the computer. Then you're not being overwhelmed by updates being downloaded for everything. So then the next thing is when you download the updates, they don't always necessarily install right at that moment, because most of the time a restart is required, and of course you're in the middle of something, so Microsoft didn't want to force you to stop working and restart the computer just to install these updates. But after a certain period of time goes by, they will start popping up and telling you, hey, there's an update that needs to be installed. Restart your computer to finish installation. And I think that's the message that you were seeing, because your computer probably already downloaded the updates from the 10th, already installed those updates, but needed a restart in order to complete the installation.
Okay, I was just a little concerned after I did it. I thought, wait a minute, that's kind of unusual.
Yeah, good for you for paying attention.
That's how that works.
No, seriously, good for you for paying attention to the dates. Like you realized I'm not supposed to be getting a new Microsoft update right now. It's not the second Tuesday of the month. Why am I getting an update? And update fraud basically is one of the reasons why we created Secure Updater. Because so many people get tricked by fake updates, the updates that look and act and feel just like the real thing, but they're not. And you end up installing some piece of malware on your computer that's not always a virus, but it could be something that leads to a virus or leads to your computer being used to mine cryptocurrencies or doing all kinds of nasty things with your stuff. So basically, that's good for you for paying attention and noticing that. In this particular case, though, it was just a delayed response asking you to restart the computer.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it.
No problem, Kathy. Anything else I can do for you today?
No, not unless you have the winning lottery ticket.
If I did, I would still be here.
I know. I would too.
All right. Thanks for your call, Kathy. I appreciate you joining us on the program. All right. It's that easy, guys. 888-250-2091. Bonnie, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Yes, I just kind of want to tell you something that happened to me. It was before
Sure.
you went on vacation. I was trying to get on my Cox email account, and it popped up and said, we've got information with your IP address. You're trying to get on from outside of the United States. And I thought, say what? I didn't do anything. Later on, I tried to get on again. The same thing popped up, and I just ignored it. And eventually, I was able to get onto my email.
Gotcha. So it was stopping you from logging into your email because it was telling you about an IP problem?
Yes, because it said this IP is not in the United States.
Oh, it was saying your IP was not in the United States.
That I was trying to log on from somewhere outside the United States.
Oh, gotcha. Now, do you have any kind of security software like a VPN or anything like that that would try to mask your identity on the internet?
I Don't even know what that is.
Okay, so the reason I ask is if you did, if you had a VPN installed, it's possible that it could have been routing some of the traffic through a computer that was not in the United States, and so that could cause that. Most often, what the notification that you saw is Cox is pretty certain that most of their customers don't leave the United States on a regular basis and take the time to access their Cox email while they're out of the country. Therefore, anyone trying to access their email from an IP address that is outside of the country is probably fraudulent and should be blocked. And then it raises the level of security for all Cox email users. So it sounds like there was a glitch in the system that was detecting that your IP address was actually not. And it's kind of funny because Cox is the company that gives you the IP address. So they should know if it's not in the United States. So it sounds like there was a glitch. And then eventually they fixed it and you were able to get through into your email again. But yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean, it's a good security and good safety thing. We do a similar thing with the Schrock Innovations website. You would not believe how incredibly popular SchrockInnovations.com is in North Korea and Iran and Russia and Ukraine. And I'm looking at Alfonso at Schrock Interactive. I'm saying, Alfonso, I think it's pretty safe to say that we don't have any real customers in those countries. And some people like from India are accessing our do-it-yourself help articles on how to fix things on their computer. That's legitimate traffic. We don't want to block that. But I don't think there's any reason that someone from Russia or the Ukraine or North Korea or Iran should need to create an account at SchrockInnovations.com. That's the first step to hacking and trying to elevate privileges. So let's block anyone who's trying to create a customer account, like they're trying to buy something from those countries, because they're not trying to buy anything. It's always a hack. And so we do something similar with that, and it's based on a lot on IP addresses. But yeah, so hopefully if you've tried to create an account at Schrock Innovations and we said you can't do this because you're from Iran, you know, that's basically what happened to you with Cox. But it sounds like they got it straightened out for you.
Right, because I got on. I think it was a day or so, and I got on. I wasn't going to click anything on it.
Good call. Good call.
If I hadn't been dealing with you, I probably would have.
Well, thank you for
ago.
that. I'm glad that we're able to help you out and provide some education that helps people not fall into the traps that get them into a computer repair service center in the first place. The education is half of what we do. Thank you very much for the call, Bonnie. I've got to jump into break here. I appreciate you joining us on the program. Linda and Karen, please hang on the line. Your calls are going to be coming up next. Also coming up on the program, the city in the United States that fell victim this week to ransomware. We're going to tell you what happened there. Also, Microsoft has identified the country that is responsible for the malware infection that is wiping data off computers, especially in the Middle East. We're going to tell you what's going on there as well, coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed semantic endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the specials section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Compute This pro tip number 187. Recently, you may have received a phone call from someone claiming to be from Microsoft or had a message pop up on your screen telling you that your computer was infected. Do not respond to these calls or messages. They're always a scam. Microsoft will never call you about your computer. Here's how the scam actually shakes out. You get the phone call that your computer's infected. The scammers hit you with some mumbo-jumbo about an infected IP address. They'll ask your permission to connect and help you fix it. Once they're in your computer, they do a bunch of fake scans that detect a lot of problems that really aren't there. You see the scan results and figure, your computer's in trouble. Next, the scammers will demand up to $400 to clean up the computer and set you up with a lifetime protection. Don't fall for the scam. Keep good security software installed, like Endpoint and Secure Updater, so when things like this do happen, you know you are covered. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. A letter obtained by Fox says that service members are demanding they be allowed to better defend themselves, this in the wake of 2 fatal on-base shootings.
Navy pilots are demanding to be armed on bases and write, quote, "It is reprehensible that a military installation, much less its warfighters based there, be at the mercy of off-base civilian law enforcement when faced with an immediate threat to their lives." The pilots say military bases across the United States have become, quote, "soft targets."
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. With House Democrats ready to vote on impeachment, one of their own, New Jersey freshman Jeff Van Drew, may be about to switch sides. This Republican's not surprised.
These other freshmen way to the left who have really taken over a lot of the Democratic Party, they've rolled Nancy Pelosi, they've gotten them to pursue this impeachment charade, and you have people like Jeff Van Drew, shaking their head and saying, hey, this isn't why I came here.
Congressman Lee Zeldin on Fox. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Scattered light snow showers move in this morning and take us through the afternoon hours. Up to an inch of accumulation possible in the Omaha metro, with higher amounts to the south and to the west. It will be chilly, those high temperatures just topping out in the low to mid-20s. Drier tonight with overnight lows in the teens. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Alrighty, guys, halftime is over. I hope y'all got your snacks and your bathroom breaks done, because we got a lot of show left to go. Welcome back to Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. I mentioned earlier in the program that we have moved our Lincoln Service Center to its new location, 2 blocks south of Pine Lake Road on 14th Street. So we're not on 27th and Pine Lake anymore. So if you didn't know that, now you do. If your friends and neighbors don't know that, you can feel free to bring it up in casual conversation. I'm sure it's awesome. Also, we do have a location in Omaha, which I haven't mentioned this morning, 169th and Burke. It's right across the street from the Village Point Mall. Also in Papillion, our little baby Schrock. It's so small and so efficient. It's off the corner of 84th and Highway 370. The number to join us on the program this morning is 888-250-2091. Coming up on the show today, we're going to tell you about the city that got hit by ransomware and completely taken offline. I just double-checked their website is still offline, by the way. Major U.S. city. Also coming up on the program, iOS 13.3 is coming out. So if you have an Apple device like an iPad or an iPhone, there's going to be a new update coming. Version 13 has been a little rough for people, so is 13.3 going to be any different? We're going to tell you coming up on the program. And also just a quick security alert thing. This is not enough for me to do a whole story on it, but Visa is warning, the credit card company, they're warning about point-of-sale malware incidents at gas pumps all across North America. So Visa says it's aware of the malware being deployed on networks of 5 North American fuel dispenser merchants. Payment processor Visa said the North American merchants who operate gas stations and gas pumps are facing a rash of attacks from cybercrime groups who want to deploy point-of-sale malware on their networks. In 2 security alerts published in November and December, respectively, Visa said its security team investigated at least 5 incidents of the sort. The payment processor said cybercrime groups carried out attacks with the main purpose of gaining access to fuel dispenser merchant networks where they installed point-of-sale malware. So what this means, guys, you're familiar, you've all heard the security alerts about when you go up to a gas pump and you stick your credit card in the pump, double check to make sure there's not a reader. They kind of fit perfectly over the top of the credit card slot that the gas pump uses. So then you slide your card in, and what it does is on its way into the gas pump, this reader device reads all the information off the mag stripe on your card and then saves that information, and later on the thief comes back, grabs the device off the pump, and anyone who ran a card through it, he's got their card numbers now. This has been going on for years. It's called skimming. Well, this is the 21st century equivalent of skimming. I remember 2020 did a story on waiters and waitresses skimming your credit cards when they go back into the kitchen to process your payment with a tiny little reader they could carry in their apron. Well, that's the old way to do it. The new way to do it is let's infect the gas pump itself to store the credit card numbers and then transmit them to somebody else, basically. So the card user has no idea anything is wrong because their payment went through just fine. The merchant has no idea anything is wrong because the gas pump is working just fine. But then all of a sudden, you start to see a lot of compromised cards. And as people investigate how the cards get compromised, they come back to the central point of they're all buying gas here. Oh my gosh, you have malware on their pumps. So it's just one of those things, guys. If you operate a gas station, if you operate a fuel company, it's really, really, really important that you, as a general rule, don't allow anyone to have remote access to your business, especially IT service firms. We stopped doing this over at Truck for this very reason. We used to love to be able to remote in at will to any client that we need to get into to do preventative maintenance or to do Windows updates or things like that for our corporate customers. Unfortunately, it's not worth the risk because it creates a single point of failure now. So if by some miracle of nature somebody gets into Schrock stuff, now they can get into all of our customers. We don't want that. And so as convenient as it is for us, as convenient as it is for our customers, we don't do that anymore. We still have the Schrock desk. We can still remote in, but it requires us to have a presence on the other end of the connection to type in a code, which stops any kind of attack or anything like that from happening, which is ideal. So anyway, just if you're using gas pumps, there's not really anything I can tell you to look out for. I can just tell you that during the holiday season, you have a lot of transactions going through your bank accounts. Make sure that there's no weird ones. That's the biggest thing, to catch those compromised cards quickly. All right, number to join us, 888-250-2091. Let's jump back into those phones. Linda, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question about wiping a hard drive on a laptop.
Okay.
How long does that normally take?
Like with a cloth?
No.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. Oh, it never gets old. Oh, no. But how long does it take? It depends.
Not like Hillary.
Yeah, not like Hillary. It depends, honestly. So are you going to be just throwing the computer away? Are you going to be reselling it? What are you going to be doing with it?
I plan to resell it.
Okay. So if you're going to
I want to take everything off.
Gotcha. So if you're going to resell it, a lot of people will just do a factory restore of the computer and say that's good enough. And it's actually not good enough. So what I would suggest, if you bring it into the service center, sure, for an hour of labor, we can zero that hard drive for you where nothing is recoverable and then hand it back to you. But if you're trying to sell the computer, it doesn't make sense to put money into a computer that you're trying to sell. So let's see if we can't find you some tools that'll do it for you at home. The challenge is, of course, any tool that you run is going to have to run on the computer, which means you're going to have Windows installed on the computer. So the first thing that I would suggest that you do is run the factory restore. The factory restore is going to restore the computer back to its original factory state the day you got it. Once that is done, you can install a free tool called CCleaner. We've talked about it on the program before. The C stands for a 4-letter word that rhymes with, I don't know. What rhymes with that? I can't think of a word that rhymes with that. It means poo. But it cleans all the poo off your computer. The C cleaner, 4-letter word, starts with C. There you go. Let's do the crossword puzzle thing. That's better. So the C cleaner is a free program, and when you install it on your computer, normally it just cleans up like, and I don't usually talk about this on the show because I don't want you messing with these advanced settings. Normally it just cleans up like the cookies and things like that. But if you look under the tools on the left-hand side and you scroll down, there is a tool that allows you to wipe the free space on your hard drive. And if you select that, it'll ask you what kind of a wipe do you want to do. Everything from a single pass all the way up to a 9-level DoD equivalent wipe, which is what the government makes people do to hard drives when they're done using them at the government. The DoD level wipe will take days. The single pass, depending on the size of the hard drive, will take up to 8 hours. So basically, it just depends on how thorough you want to be. If you started that DoD wipe and let it run for a day and then came back and stopped it, you'd probably be fine. But that will wipe the free space on the drive because obviously the stuff that's not free has already been overwritten by new information like the Windows operating system, things like that. By wiping all the free space, you're wiping everything else that could be recovered. Once you run that tool, even our data recovery technicians at Schrock wouldn't be able to pull anything of use off that hard drive.
Okay. What was the one that takes 8 hours? What's that called?
But let me see if I can open it up here and give you the exact words because I'm kind of shooting from memory here. Alrighty, CCleaner. My hard drive and my laptop's getting full. CCleaner's telling me it's time to clean house or get a bigger hard drive. All right, let's open CCleaner here. Live radio stuff. So on the left-hand side of the menu, if you go down to Tools, and let's the disk analyzer. And then drive wiper is the tool you're looking for. And the default setting is free space only, which is good because you don't want to change that. This is why I don't talk about this one on the radio, because if you switch that first option to entire drive, that's going to be bad. So don't do that. Just leave it on free space. The next option is security. It's a simple overwrite, which is 1 pass, all the way up to a very complex overwrite, which is 35 passes. So if 1 pass takes 8 hours and you're going to do 35, you can see how 35 times 8 would be a lot of hours. Then it allows you to select which drives you want to do this to. Of course, you would select the C drive, which is the main hard drive in the computer, as well as any other drives that might be installed in the computer. You can wipe them too. But this doesn't, they'll still function fine. They'll still work appropriately. It just makes sure that all of your information is gone off the drive.
Okay, that's what I need. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you taking the time to give us a call this morning. All right. So see, folks, it's that easy. 888-250-2091. Karen, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Hi, Thor. Thanks. I have we have point-to-point wireless in our home because we're in a rural area. We've got several devices connected to it: computers, phones, smart TV, iPad. Everybody has pretty good internet. We just switch companies, and so we can get about 30 megabytes per second.
That's not bad for rural.
Except one computer. I can only get about 4.5 megabytes per second on it. It doesn't matter if it's wired or wireless. Doesn't matter which browser I use. According to the device manager, the network adapter is working properly. Drivers are all updated. So I guess I need help on where I go next to help track down why this isn't working properly.
Okay, it sounds like you've done a lot of good diagnostic work so far. You said it gets 4 megabits per second, wired or
about
wireless?
4.5.
Yeah. On a wired connection too?
Yes.
Okay, that's weird. Something isn't right.
That's what I figured.
The fact that you've got two different, so your wireless adapter is a whole separate adapter from the Ethernet adapter on the motherboard. So if they're getting the same speed across two different adapters, one of them's wireless, one of them's wired. So it's not the wire, it's not the plug in the wall or the plug in the router, it's not the wireless adapter, it's not the wired adapter. So it's got to be something in the software. That's the only thing that's left to figure out, basically, because there's two different adapters. It's nothing with the drivers, the software that runs the equipment. There's got to be something going on with the computer itself that is limiting the amount of internet connectivity that is coming through that device. So the first thing we would look at is security software. What are you running for antivirus on those computers?
Norton Security.
Okay, so the first thing we want to look at is if you disable Norton Security, suddenly does the internet speed increase? So in other words, are you getting some lost packets or blocked traffic, things like that? And then, if it was in the service center and this presented to us in the service center, what we would do in the shop is we would check all the basics. And if all the basics turn up nothing, the next thing we would do is we would literally just hook up a new hard drive to your computer and install a clean copy of Windows 10. And then we would go through and say, okay, is it still doing it now with a clean copy of Windows 10? And if the answer is no, then we know there's something installed on the computer that's limiting the internet speed. And if the answer is yes, it's still doing it even with a clean install of Windows 10, as unlikely as it is, there's got to be something in the hardware that's causing the problem. So then we would start looking at BIOS updates and things that are a little more complex. So it sounds like you've done all the basic home troubleshooting already. Is it possible for you to bring this into a service center? I don't know how far out in the rural areas you are, but...
No, I could bring it in sometime.
Yeah, I understand. Sometime, when it's not busy, not like near Christmas or anything.
Right, exactly.
Well, it's one of those fun things too. Is if you want to keep the family at the Christmas table and engaged in family activities, the best time to bring computers in for preventative maintenance and work is right over Christmas, actually. Because wow, look at that! There's no computers in the house, and they're now they all have phones. That worked really well like a decade ago, but now everyone's got a phone. So sometimes at least the littles don't have their devices, and they'll hang around. And let's all be honest, we don't want the moody teenagers anyway. It's like, keep the littles hanging around. Those are the ones you want to see on Christmas anyway. But yeah, I would definitely suggest at this point, since it's one device, you've done all the troubleshooting already, let's get it into the service center. Have you ever been into one of our shops before for anything, Karen?
I have, yes.
Okay, so you know where we're located. If you get that into us, this is something we could probably knock out in an hour of labor for you, get it diagnosed, possibly even fixed in that same hour. Because once we know that it's software or we know that it's hardware, then we can start really narrowing it down, because otherwise, we're just trying something and seeing if it makes a change and then trying something else. Basically, the process of elimination is a lot more efficient to figure something like this out.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the call, Karen. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
One thing I failed to mention at the start of the program is Karen has also entered in the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate drawing. So congratulations. Everyone who's called in so far has been entered in there. So I just forgot to say anything about it at the start of the program. All right. We got to take our final break here real quick. We have a lot to cram into the last 13 minutes. We've got Dave and Steve and Joan online. Also, we've got the city taken down by cyber criminals with a ransomware infection, and also iOS 13.3. Is it something you want to install on your phone? We're going to tell you all about it coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. And now Compute This Pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier, so take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All right, guys, final few minutes of the program. Welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, 888-250-2091. Microsoft discovered that the virus that's going around and wiping information off people's computers was originally released to target oil companies in the Middle East, especially oil companies in Saudi Arabia, before a big IPO of Aramco. If you don't know what that is, they had a big initial public offering to raise a bunch of money for the Saudi kingdom for the public launch of their oil company or whatever. And Iran was very much against this because it allows Saudi Arabia a lot of money for infrastructure. That's why they were blowing up pipelines and stuff with drones and things. Looks like Iran is also responsible for this viral attack that is now leaking out, of course, and wiping other computers that are not related to the oil and gas industry. So if you don't have antivirus or you're relying on something like Avast or AVG or McAfee, please make the move to Semantic Endpoint. Otherwise, you too can be like a Saudi prince and lose all of your information on your computer. 888-250-2091. Dave, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Hey, Thor, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Two things real quick.
Okay.
I sent an email a couple weeks ago. You know, sometimes our visits don't go as we had expected, or they don't meet our expectations. And a couple years ago, I had that opportunity with y'all and decided to give y'all a second chance. Got a long drive to come into your service centers, and I just dropped you a line, let you know I was hoping for better. Wow, what a difference a couple of years have made, and I wish I knew the gentleman's name. Driving down the road, I got a phone call, and it was a man from your pavilion service station and set up an appointment with me, and it turned out that the day that I wanted to come in was his day off. He said, no problem. You tell me what time you'll be there, I'll be there. Sure enough, he cruises up on his bicycle.
That's Ryan.
And, oh, what a great kid. We sat down, and in a few minutes, I had 2 of your holiday specials ordered, one of each. I tell you what, your that desktop, or not the desktop one, but desktop. Oh, what a looker! What a looker! If that thing performs half as well as it would, I'm going to be excited when it comes in.
They are very pretty. Very pretty.
I tell you what, your guy was just outstanding. Came in on his day out, was everything I had hoped for. You got a winner with him. Got a winner with him.
Well, thank you for taking the time to call and let me know, Dave. I appreciate that, because it's always good to hear when things go right. And I do remember your email, by the way, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's giving us a second chance, and this is awesome, because a lot of times in business, when you make a mistake or you screw something up, a lot of times consumers don't give you a second chance. So when we get one, it's a big deal, because we try to have a high rate of retention, but nobody's perfect. So here's a second chance. I remember I forwarded that to the company. I'm like, this gentleman's going to be coming into one of the service centers, guys. Make sure. I mean, whatever you got to do. And the funny thing is the only person that probably didn't get that email was Ryan. Yeah, he was probably
knocked it out of the park.
He's our newest junior technician in Papillion.
Absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Awesome.
Anyway, the reason why I called, on a volunteer fire department, we have a computer that's going to die of loneliness. Was looking at it the other day to make sure it was upgraded to Windows 10. It's not. It's on 8.1.
Okay.
No matter what I do with it, the upgrade fails continuously. It does have AWG on it, or whatever that antivirus
the
is.
AVG.
Could that be what's hanging it up?
That's exactly what's hanging it up. There was we posted about it on Facebook a couple weeks ago, but basically there's a compatibility issue. So Avast bought AVG, and Avast updates their Avast software pretty often, but they don't update the AVG software as much anymore. And so basically the issue is that there's a known bug that causes a migration problem with data when you're running Avast and AVG. So Microsoft has installed a block that prevents you from installing Windows 10 on those computers. If you remove the AVG from the computer, the Windows 10 upgrade should go through just fine.
Okay. Is it too old to upgrade?
8.1, it should upgrade just fine. Now, I don't know if it'll run the most recent version of Windows 10. That's what we want to find out. But I know that the initial version of Windows 10 would have worked just fine on it. So my guess is, we have people coming in with Windows 7 computers having us do upgrades. If we can do that, an 8.1 computer should go through pretty good.
I appreciate it. You have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you too, Dave. I appreciate your call. All right. So the city of New Orleans is down right now. If you go to their website, which I just confirmed in the last commercial break here, just to make sure they're still down, NOLA.gov is still down for quote-unquote unplanned maintenance. They have links that you can pay your tickets and stuff, but I think if you don't pay the ticket, no one really knows, because, they can't generate any reports about who's supposed to pay a ticket right now. Police officers in the field are running off of backup radios and non-data systems. Of course, policing is not impacted at all by this. We just can't access any historical data, like your driver's license. Yeah, they can't pull up anything. They have no connectivity, so they can't do anything. But if you're robbing somebody, they can stop you. But or at least deal with the mess afterwards. But if you've robbed 4 people that day, officer number 4 has no idea that officer number 1 stopped you earlier for robbing somebody, because there's no computer system in place right now. So it's back in the day when remember when warnings were paper, like tickets were paper, and they had to write out the paper for everything. And sometimes the police officers were just like, I don't want to have to write all this paper out. So you get a warning. Now even the warnings are digital. So like if you get a warning and you get stopped 10 miles further down the road in your Ferrari going 145 on the interstate and somehow get another warning, the second officer knows you just got a warning 10 minutes ago. And the third officer is going to be like, listen, you've had 2 warnings, son. You've struck out. You're going to jail. Because it's all digital now, except in New Orleans where it's not. Why is it not digital in New Orleans? Because they got taken down by a ransomware attack that has locked up the entire computer systems of the city. In fact, in City Hall, they came over to loudspeakers. Boom! Attention Kmart shoppers. Turn off your computers now. Shut everything down. We're getting hit by the cyber attack. I mean, could you imagine, like, you're just in City Hall for some routine business. You're getting a permit for a fence or something. And it's like all of a sudden they're like, air raid sirens are going off. You're like, what's happening? Everyone's turning off their computers. You can't have your fence permit. I'm getting a cyber attack. And then everyone's like, oh, okay. And then we just go back to the French Quarter. So I guess, we're going to build that fence without a permit, apparently. But yeah, so the city of New Orleans is yet again, just like Baltimore and just like Atlanta, shining examples of what not to do to secure your city's infrastructure. All right, there we go. All right, Steve, let's jump in. Steve's calling here real quick. Steve, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Yeah, when I restart my computer, the secure updater box comes up, and then right away it says invalid password.
Gotcha.
And
have you changed your password recently for Secure Updater?
I didn't even install it. It was installed when I had it in the shop.
Okay, perfect.
So
well, then
I don't know.
If why don't you go ahead and try? Do you have a cell phone, sir?
Not with me.
That's all right. You don't have to use it right now. But one of the things when we install Secure Updater for you, we use your cell phone number as the default password. And of course, you should change that password. But we use your cell phone number as the default password. Cell phone numbers are not registered anywhere. They're not listed anywhere. And so basically, what you can do is you can just try 402 and then your cell phone number with no dashes or anything like that in there and see if that works. If that doesn't work, just give us a call in the service centers. I mean, you can reset your own password online, but you can just give us a call and we can reset it in a couple seconds for you in the service center. And once you know what the password is, at that point, then you'll be able to get logged in and you won't get that message anymore popping up every time you turn on the computer.
Yeah. Well, when I click on the icon on the desktop, that window comes up that says,
Got to log in, yeah.
No, it just says, do you want to allow him to do it? And then I click yes, and it looks like nothing happened.
Gotcha. And then that's because it's already running in the background because it started running when you first turned on the computer. All right. Thank you for the call, Steve. I appreciate it. Joan, I don't have time to get to your call here on the air, but I'll take it off the air just as soon as we're done here. Today's winner is Karen. Congratulations, Karen. You've got yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Wrapping up the show, guys. Christmas is fast approaching. We are building computers as quickly as possible. If we call you that your computer is ready, please do come get it because we have a lot of computers hanging around in there right now. Also, final week for probably the holiday special as well as the discounted computers at Schrock. We'll see you next Sunday.
Fueled by Hy-Vee, home of hot deals and hundreds of price declines. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB, Omaha, an iHeart radio station.
They want to be armed on base. I'm Pam Puso, Fox News. That demand from dozens of Navy pilots, according to a letter obtained